So what's your advice?
Get on your knees and start kissing anything that even remotely resembles a
Captain Matthews has been arguably one of the most secretive workers at the Miami Metro Police Department, of course, besides Dexter. Throughout the series, he has shown signs of corruption and favoritism, leading to moments of vulnerability, which we can see in later seasons. With this in mind, many fans have speculated over the years that Captain Matthews possibly knew Dexter was the Bay Harbor Butcher, and is actually backed up with some valid evidence. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing why I think Matthews truly knew Dexter's dark secret and why he didn't say anything about it when speculation surrounding Dexter's activities were at an all-time high. First of all, we need to look at who Captain Matthews is in order to understand his motivations and ethical decisions. Matthews was first introduced in Season 1 as the captain of the Miami Metro Police Department. He initially comes off as this cocky and arrogant person who thinks they know better than everyone. As we progress through the show, we learn that Matthews was a close friend and colleague of Harry Morgan, Dexter's adoptive father. It's described that he greatly respected Harry's skills as a cop and was influenced by Harry's moral code. As well, he is portrayed as a high political figure, deeply entrenched in the bureaucracy of law enforcement. He prioritizes his career and reputation above all else, often making morally uncertain decisions to protect himself. A clear example of his political maneuvering is in Season 1 when he pressured Miami Metro to solve the ice truck killer case quickly to avoid public backlash, even if it meant cutting corners.
fingerprint ID came back on that hand from the beach. Belongs to Tony Tucci.
What? Wait.
You want to be on TV? Well, get ready. Because the press will annihilate us for this. You're lucky if Tucci's mother doesn't file a lawsuit.
Matthews also provides subtle but important clues regarding his knowledge of Dexter's secret in Season 2 when he assigns Dexter to analyze blood slides from the Bay Harbor Butcher case, despite it being an FBI investigation, conveniently giving Dexter the chance to wipe his fingerprints from the slide. When Matthews first informs Dexter about the discovery of the slides, his careful choice of words suggests he is treading lightly, as if he is aware that saying the wrong thing could provoke a confession.
Explain it to us.
Trophies.
That's what I thought. I know this will come as a shock to you, Morgan, but our primary suspect is someone you know well.
Matthews disappears in Season 3, but in Season 4, his clashes with LaGuerta escalate, which he attributes to her arrogance, though there may be deeper reasons.
Go home, Maria. The only help you'll get from me is a lift back to Cuba.
Season 5 reveals little about Matthews' involvement apart from his appearance at Rita's funeral, underscoring his relationship to the Morgan family. Season 6 is pivotal, starting with his promotion of Deborah to lieutenant over the more qualified Batista, a recurring pattern for Matthews, and culminating in the scandal involving a prostitute's death. Most importantly, however, is in Season 7 when he steers LaGuerta off course when she comes close to exposing Dexter as the Bay Harbor Butcher, even subtly warning Dexter afterwards to cover his tracks, which Dexter does.
That cabin where Dokes died
What about it?
was rented to a man named Jimenez. He's one of the men who killed your mother. What are the odds?
Do you think I'm the Bay Harbor Butcher?
Of course not. But if I don't ask these questions, Maria will.
Finally, in Season 8, Matthews brings in Dr. Evelyn Vogel to assist with the brain surgeon case, revealing that they are old friends. This connection suggests Matthews knew of Vogel's work and her fascination with psychopaths. During the same time, Quinn was keeping a close eye on Dexter and watching him constantly to see if he slips up. As a response to this, Matthews reacts quite intensely, eventually not allowing him to be promoted to sergeant. All of these important pieces to one big puzzle are put together by a Reddit user named Oliver Saxon, where they describe perfectly how well they all fit in this argument. Matthews knows all about Dexter's dark past. He knew about Laura Moser, he knew about Brian Moser, and most importantly, he knew about Harry and Vogel's experiment with Dexter. Simply put, he knows the code. In the beginning, he puts Deb in homicide because he sees it as just one less threat to Dexter. He guesses that if Deb ever found out Dexter's true nature, she would protect his secret. To add, Matthews not only knows what Dexter is, but he is also responsible for him. However, one thing is certain, Matthews is responsible for introducing Harry Morgan to Evelyn Vogel. Matthews knew Vogel and had knowledge of her fascination and unorthodox methods with psychopaths, and so when Harry started confiding in his best friend about Dexter's weird behavior, Matthews suggested that Harry meet Vogel. His theory is that while Vogel and Harry came up with the code, it was Matthews and Vogel who came up with the idea of a psychopath who hunted down and killed other psychopaths. I think after season 2, Matthews stayed out of the picture because he knew his creation was free to do exactly what he needed with everything pinned on Dokes. I think his incident with the hooker in season 6 was framed incompetence so we would not suspect a thing. I think Matthews insisted on Deb being lieutenant because he felt that was the safest thing for Dexter. I think he was so ignorant about Quinn not getting sergeant because of Quinn's suspicions in season 5 about Dexter. Although Oliver Saxon wrote this theory 12 years ago, it still holds great weight till this day. It pretty much wraps up all the evidence we have of Matthews knowing Dexter was the Bay Harbor Butcher. However, there are some arguments that can be said against this idea. In a 2013 interview with the actor who actually plays Captain Matthews, he discussed that he kept his cards close to his chest when they asked whether his character suspected Dexter was more than he seems. Well, I think that's the big question mark. That's what I think a lot of people wondered about, just how much did Matthews know since he knew him since he was a child? And his dad was my partner. I'm still waiting to see whether that comes out or not, I don't know. However, Jeff did acknowledge that Matthews may have been looking out for his old friend's son when LaGuardia came to him with her suspicion. I can't really say, but it would seem from season 7 like if I did know, I was still trying to protect him, Jeff said, hedging with lots of ifs. I'm not saying it's that way, but it would seem that way. Now, although this is the actor of the character, it doesn't mean he truly knows the truth behind this unanswered question. Where it gets tricky to understand, however, is the consideration that he let Dokes take the fall willingly. Matthews is a scum person, but it gets a little extreme when you consider that he is, at the end of the day, a cop, and to let someone die like that under his consciousness kind of goes out of his character to an extent. The only way I see to get around this is that Matthews wasn't fully aware of Dexter's dark secret in season 2, but after everything that's happened, by the end of the series, he's actually aware. This theory can possibly be proven relatively soon in the present day due to the release of the new prequel, Dexter Original Sin. At the time I'm making this video, it's been speculated that one of the actors cast in Original Sin, Matthew Williams, will be playing a young Captain Matthews. This gives them the opportunity to reveal if he knew about Dexter's secret life. I find this to be a really good way to announce and debunk this theory, as it will also provide the show itself with a deep and interesting plot twist. With this, we could even possibly see his return in Dexter Resurrection, directly tying Original Sin to the next Dexter sequel series. With all this evidence surrounding the theory of Matthews knowing who Dexter really was, it's hard to come up with a valid standpoint considering there are many loopholes and arguments one can make. But I want to know what you guys thought. Do you agree with this rather controversial theory, or do you have reason to believe he in fact didn't know Dexter was the Bay Harbor Butcher? Thanks for making it to the end of the video, and hit that subscribe button if you would like to see more content like this. I'll see you all next time.